Hey, welcome. This is Revolved with RunDiffusion, and I'm joined by Benjaminimal with Enfugue.
Hi, how you doing?
So we're going to go over a brief overview of Enfugue, what it's good for, what kind of cool, crazy features Benjaminimal has packed in here. He's been developing like a madman. So there's lots of exciting new stuff. We can't wait to show you. Um, why don't you start off with just talking about what is Enfugue and why did you build it and why should people use it?
Sure. So Enfugue is my own web UI. It is an app made to run stable diffusion in the browser for desktop or server. It is made to be as easy as possible to both install and use. And it's made primarily to be an artist tool. It is a creative tool made to focus on your image, the thing that you're creating, and try to just work with you to get it out onto the canvas, to work to get it out of your brain and into your eyes as quickly as possible, with as little fidgeting as possible.
Yeah, and I think there's a definite use case for it. Like lots of people are generating stuff. You kind of get this like slot machine sort of effect where you're hoping to get what you want, but there's a real like lack of good tooling to get that specific image that you need. And I
Right.
think that this is a really great movement in that direction. So we've got it loaded up here on RunDiffusion. Um, right off the bat, you can see that there's kind of a canvas here. Do you want to like just talk about the high end of like where things are? If someone's used Automatic 1111, what are they looking for when they step into to use your platform?
Sure. The first thing that most people will probably look for if they're used to Automatic 1111 is the model loader. It's the thing that's in the top left of Auto 11, and that's right here in the front and center of Enfugue. So this will let you select your checkpoint just like you would out of Auto. It's slightly different than Auto. It won't load it until you use it, so you can accidentally if you accidentally select something, it won't take a long time to accidentally select the next one. So I found myself doing that a lot. So that's the primary model selector. And then towards the left, you will start to find your global options, all of your tweaks,
Mm-hmm.
your dials, the things that you're used to messing with, especially right from the jump. Um, so there, yeah, right under tweaks is the biggest things that you're probably going to want to change right away: your guidance scale, your number of entrance steps, your schedulers. There's other things like a whole bunch of different noise offset options. That's a pullover from some like comfy workflows are fond of noise offsets,
Mm-hmm.
so that found its way into Infuse. Your generation tab right beneath that is the ability to generate multiple samples at once. Iterations there is similar to batches from A1, so you generate two times two, so you would end up with four total images at the end.
So we're going to basically do some very quick stuff in this video just to give you a feel for it. So we'll go through, generate some images. Let's actually hit generate right now. We'll generate an image. We'll show you, the basics of image to image, control net, in paint, out paint, and then we'll show you some of the unique things that Enfugue does that are a little bit different that you might not have seen in other platforms. So right off the bat, we've got our first generation. This is cyber realistic. We've got let's get a couple generations going just so we can get a feel for it. It's 1.5 model. It does SDXL as well. Really great. This is the same prompt with an SDXL in Enfugue. So we've got some interesting generations here. Maybe we need to in paint some faces or something like that. This is kind of just the way it goes with 1.5 cyber realistic, right?
Yes,
So
true.
so let's get something we kind of like. Okay, you know what? The car looks cool here.
Yeah,
I
it's true.
love that. I mean, this looks like Enfugue. It's got the Enfugue color scheme.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
let's roll with this
And see what we can
and
do.
let's see what we can do right off the bat. Well, this Aphex Twin kind of face thing going on needs to be adjusted here. To start off with, if we want to in paint on this, I think you click this edit image button first, right?
Yep.
So
So
so edit
the
image that will
yep.
pull in the settings.
Yes. The
Go
point
ahead.
is to get it onto the canvas. So that will take the sample that you just made and put it onto the canvas. But there are a lot of other ways. You could have controlled copy and paste onto the canvas and it'll just bloop, plop it right there. You can drag and drop, a lot of different ways.
Let's get some in painting going. So up here on the top, we've got the enable in painting button. And I've got a giant thing here for masking. So this is the masking interface. Is that right?
Sure is. It's you draw
Here's
right
some
on
nice
top
stuff.
of draw right on top of any pictures that you have on the canvas. In this case, we've only got one that's filling the whole canvas, and we can draw on top and select where we want to fill.
Okay, now I notice you've got cropped in painting. So if we generate on this, it's going to crop it to 512 by 512 and then generate the image.
Yes, since this image
Great.
is already 512, it won't do any cropping. But if this were a larger image, then it will find a 512 by 512 square centered
Oh.
around your painted area with some padding.
Oh, so maybe we would want to upscale this before we in paint it, right? That'll make it a little
Potentially,
better.
yeah, that's a good option for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think we want to get a higher res face because that's just part of the problem. There is like very
Sure.
low res. Okay, so
Yep.
um,
So an easy way to do that,
to
you can
upscale
just
it,
scroll
yeah.
down to upscaling on the left hand side.
Okay, upscaling.
Yep.
Yeah,
And now you can just
got an
add an
upscaling
upscaling
step.
step. Seeing as we have
Okay,
a bad face here, we can use GFP GAN to fix that.
right.
Yep. So there's GFP GAN. Usually 2 times is where I like to go. So if you were to just do it now, it would only use GFP GAN. If you also wanted to send it through Stable Diffusion again, i.e., Ultimate SD upscale style, then you would set a denoising strength somewhere on that dial. So
Got it.
my go to is around 0.2, and the other settings are I leave them approximately at that. I'll change it for LCM or other things, but looking at the if you scroll down a little bit, see the guidance scale there is very high. There's 100 inference steps,
Yeah.
so that's actually going to with a strength of 0.2, that'll end up being 20 inference steps total. But the very high guidance scale, low number of inference steps will let that go. And I'm sorry, high number of inference steps, high guidance scale, low denoising strength will give it the ability to fill in quite a bit of detail while still maintaining the same structure. I don't mess with upscaling control nets until I have to. I find that upscaling image to image is usually pretty good at keeping what you wanted. It depends upon what exactly you're looking at.
There we go. Yeah.
Here we go. It
Okay,
is.
great. We got the upscaled version, pretty smooth. Yeah.
Yep, and that's an AI upscaler, so it'll do its best to maintain sharp edges, and it'll try and add detail where it knows what the detail looks like, which isn't a lot of things, but it's some things. And that is
there we go. It did fix the face.
That is so much better. Honestly,
okay, cool.
that's
so
my
this is looking really good.
Yeah, that's my go-to workflow for just a first image is have it generate it at 512, make it bigger, probably by GFP GAN if you're looking for people, and then rediffuse it at a low amount, high steps, and you'll end up with a really, really nice image at 1024. Sometimes quite a bit better than you could get out of XL at the same size, depending upon your models and such.
Oh, what's that there? We can clear that canvas. Okay, so we went back to edit image. We enabled in painting, right? That gives us back to this masking area, and now we're just going to mask the face, and we should be good. Oh, turn off the upscaling step.
Get rid of the upscale step. Yep. Otherwise, we'll do it again.
And now it will do the cropped in painting.
Yes.
We'll get the better quality there on the face, which is great. Yeah, so the nice thing is, I believe like the way that Enfugue works is you actually make an in-painting model, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
So
you make an in-painting model by merging it. Yeah.
Yes, it's a fine-tuned in-painting model, specially made for in-painting. It has better coherence across the entire image than a base model used for in-painting.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Little Cruella de Vil.
The villain with the sports car.
Yeah. You see,
And we
it's
could, of
working.
course, fine tune the denoising and all that. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
There's
it's
all
working.
sorts of fun stuff you can dial in there. But obviously, it's working 10 seconds pretty quickly on a 1024 by 1024 image because of that cropping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the first time you run the in painting, it has to generate the model, but then after that, every time will be much faster. Okay,
Yes.
cool. So that's pretty straightforward. In painting, awesome. Scroll wheel to raise the size of the raise the size of this
Or zoom in, depending
masking
upon what you're
tool.
doing.
Yeah, and then with the masking tool, Alt is to erase, right? So
Yes.
it's great, very easy way to kind of in paint everything, get it going. I like the shades.
Yeah, that's cool.
Let's do an image to image pass on this.
Yeah, so you if you want to edit the version that you got right now, so after you're in Paint, then you would do the same thing you did last time when you hit Edit Image. So you can click Edit Image again
Right.
on this one to bring it back to the canvas. Yep, there you go.
Okay.
And now if you want to run it through image to image, all you have to do is tell it that that's its role. Images have roles. The roles will basically be what it's being input into. A1 has, you'll know this concept with A1 for things like control net units. It's just that the whole thing will populate itself all in layers here. So the roles on the right-hand side, the one you're looking for is denoising. With the parentheses image to image.
Okay.
In. So by doing that, you are telling me that you want this image to be part of the image, but you want it to be changed, at least in accordance with the denoising strength. So you'll see on the left-hand side that became visible now because you selected denoising. If you had enabled in-painting like you did earlier, it would also show itself because that's also relevant. So yeah, you're at a point right now where you will be doing an image to image on that image. Know that it's 1024 by 1024. So if you're using a 1.5 model, that'll be a bit higher VRAM than an equivalent like XL model for the same size, but it's still totally doable. You could also enable tile diffusion if you have low VRAM. In this case, I don't think you have to do that.
Right.
Yep. So if you wanted to,
here, I see you can also add in an IP adapter, which is great. Yeah.
Yes, you can have multiple roles for any given image. Can go to image, IP adapter, or any number of control nets.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Well, let's run this. I've got the denoising at 0.83. We've got a 1 canny, and let's see what we get.
All right.
Now, from what I understand, this is like a new thing. You've added layers into Enfugue. Is that right? So
yes. So
there's potential for us to be creating this. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean there was a not necessarily layer-like interface. It was just the nodes on the canvas, but they weren't organized into like this structure of layers. And adding in layers actually made things quite a bit easier in terms of organizing where things are and not clicking on the wrong thing, and knowing what options apply to what. The options used to be visible, like the forms were on the canvas itself, and they were hard to work with. So now they're all on the right hand side, all populating the same space. But you're talking about like using multiple images for stuff. There's a new update coming in a few days now, where I have a simple opacity slider on the layers. So it's when you layer them on top of each other, you can add an amount of opacity so that it'll blend into the bottom one, which is a very sort of simple, rudimentary thing that normal pixel space editing programs have. But once you get it out into into AI and run it through denoising, it becomes something completely different. So it's really, really cool. Even just the small things that you can do just by blending colors together with simple opacity can have drastic effects on the resulting image.
Yeah, so we've got the two here, right? And we've
Yep.
got, you can rearrange them here. Just move that
There
up
you go.
there.
Yeah.
So,
There you
this is two images. Now, if I wanted to, like, I can denoise these together, right? Like, that was the one thing that really impressed me. So, like, let's say I grab this is, you have to, like, kind of shut off one, right? So there's the underlying image is this weird sort of abstract stable diffusion generation I just grabbed. So if we wanted to, let's say, redo the car with this totally bonkers style, that this would use it for the denoising, right?
Yep. And
Um,
yeah, so right now you've got the bottom image, the car
oh, the wrong
image.
one.
Yeah,
Wrong one. Yeah. Okay.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we want to turn the IP adapter off there,
Yep.
but we want to denoise the car image to this image. So would we denoise them both or just the one layer?
With the background, so we're there's a bunch of different ways.
Oh yeah,
I
go to
would
remove.
what I would like
Yeah,
to
remove
yeah,
background.
you can do that, and the background, the car image, I would, if we can like turn it, give it a canny as well, then we
Okay.
can use the
Yeah, right.
yeah, we
Yeah.
can use the foreground for image. So if we undenoise that one, so uncheck denoising on this image and check denoising on the other image.
Right.
There you
So
go.
we're going to be
Yep.
basically blending that other image and
Yeah,
that style into the car image.
right. But with
Okay.
the edges of the car
I
image.
don't know what's going to happen.
I don't know either, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, let's find out. That's one of the beautiful things. Is this is a completely new tool for AI art usage. It's like
Yeah.
you've created this new layer system. I've actually had a lot of people saying like, "Hey, I'm a designer. When are you going to do Photoshop layers?" It's like I don't know, but now there is a system to do Photoshop layers. This is the background removal, right?
Yeah, evidently it.
On this image, so maybe
Yeah, this is
might be a
it's
bit
an
strong.
yeah a bit strong. That's another AI model. It's literally called background remover. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
Usually,
yeah. Well,
sometimes
it's
for abstract stuff, it gets
yeah.
confused.
Maybe we'll definitely. So we'll probably take that off. Okay, we got
Yeah,
a night image because of the
yeah,
black.
but
This looks like it's going to be cool when we take the remove background off. Maybe. I'm intrigued.
yeah,
Um,
because it
yeah,
was we removed the
yeah,
background. There
layer
was not a
system is
lot
great.
of color across the whole image. Um, Now there's
Mm-hmm.
a lot more color in the image.
And let's see what we get. Oh, there's the car.
There's the car. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it, dude.
Space
Seriously,
car.
this photo
Now
moshing. I
if
love
we
this
take the
photo moshing. It can get so cool.
yeah, it's so fun. It's so fun. You can use more than two images.
Yeah.
This is like
Yep.
where it gets really bonkers, right?
Yep.
You can piece together a whole photo collage and then redo everything. You can make a large image because you're using the VAE tiling. You can just do so much. This is awesome. Like look at this denoise.
Yeah, it gave us a
Really
little
made it
border on the right hand
futuristic.
side too. It's like actually cool.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, awesome. I kind of want to do another one. Yeah, this is part of the fun though, is there's so much experimentation to be had by just layering things. And there's endless amount of material that we have to remix and
Yeah.
going through old generations, piecing them together, putting things in and out painting it with denoising. It's just like there's so much potential to be had here.
Yeah.
And it's just a new way of thinking about diffusion in general. Like, for me personally, I'm like, okay, how can I diffuse with like simpler backgrounds so I can piece more things together and then just have like one overall background image that is like going to be the background for all these images. Yeah, there's just like so much potential with it. And yeah, you're really just beginning with this. Like, when did you launch Enfugue? It's
I
How many
launched it
months?
it was in July. I started in April and
Yeah.
launched the first version in July. So I mean, it is still. I mean, what does it mean? What does it matter at this point in AI? Am I ancient? Am I new? I don't know. If you're looking for the depth too of like all of those dials that I disparaged so much in my first thing, they are here.
Mhm.
So like your control net, you can change how when in the denoising process it stops its influence with
Mhm.
control net start and stop. There's
Mhm.
scales, image prompt. There are 3 different image prompt models. You can combine the image prompts. Like all of those options are all around here, waiting to be fiddled with if you want to or not. That's part of the
Mhm.
beauty of it. Is you know, we've been rocking with a lot of defaults here, and been getting pretty good images as a result. And there's you know,
Mhm.
quite a bit of room to grow as well.
Absolutely. All right. Well, this has been awesome. We haven't even used any LoRa's in this. You know, we could be popping LoRa's in here, textual
Yeah,
inversions, and really getting wild and crazy with it. I definitely am going to thank you so much for like walking us through this awesome platform, um, and very excited for what you have coming next. As well, we will do another video where we go over AnimateDiff in the platform, which is amazing. Imagine just doing this kind of workflow, but now there's a button you can press and it makes an animation.
it's true.
Mind blowing, as well as like a whole timeline system that's really innovative. So thanks so much for one, creating this awesome app, and two, spending time with us today.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much for having me and for hosting it on RunDiffusion.